Hello everyone, today is January 22nd, Tuesday, 2013, and I know I haven't made a video in a number of weeks, and I think it was well before Christmas. However, just frankly, there hasn't been anything going on here. Currently it's very cold outside, and with snow. This morning I woke up and it was around -17 Celsius, which that's below 0 Fahrenheit. And I've been having issues the past few days with pipes freezing in the barn and actually cracking a couple fittings and this and that. But I think after the third day of trial and error, I think I have it down pat to drain the lines in the evening, and even during the day when we're not using them, drain the lines, shut the taps off, put heat tape on it, and cross fingers that that'll work today when I go out there at 4:30. Yeah, so not much has been going on since my last video as far as growing. I'm down in my grow room here, if you can picture that. I remember my tour from a little while ago, and I don't really have any more videos for that series unless someone wants to see something or wants me to talk about something exclusively, or in more in depth about the materials or how I did it or what have you. I'd be more than happy to. Just please leave it in the comments below. But anyway, I'm going to show you around here in a minute, show you what I have going and what I have growing, which is not anything different from last year, or excuse me, from last video, but there are a couple things. It's not March yet, so I'm not growing. I know a couple people people that are down a little bit in the southern U.S., maybe down towards, I don't know, the Carolinas or something like that, maybe even a little bit northern than that. They would start their stuff now. But I have at least another 5 to 6 weeks to go. If y'all can remember, last March is when I started my peppers and my eggplant. And I believe my tomatoes were maybe a week or two after that. And I think I timed that out perfectly to when I put them in the garden last year. Because even without being here this year, the tomatoes still grew and they still produced. The eggplant and peppers didn't, they died off, but it was a very dry year up here. I think it was actually the driest and hottest year on record up in this part of the world, in Canada here. But when March comes again, I'll be doing exactly what I did last year in the sense of when I start planting. This year's garden is going to be a lot more stress-free and fun, and among everything else, just doing it here and not having to worry about a CSA or a farmer's market or a stand or any of this. We'll get into that a little bit later in another video that I'll be having coming out in a couple weeks, just talking about what plans are for the garden and what I'm going to be growing and all that stuff. But let me show you around and show what I have going on. Well, this is the grow room. I got my lights up here. These normally aren't on because I don't have anything growing in them. I just have them on today because of the video. It's a little bit nicer to have some light. And then again, over here is my potting station. Just a trash bucket there. I got my water here, and I have my someone told me what this was called before. I don't remember what it's called. A radiator, I guess. And a bucket of soil. And then down here, which is found very interesting. These are the strawberries and asparagus that I dug up in the fall that I wasn't going to have anymore, but I wanted to save some. And as you can see, which I wasn't anticipating this, but the asparagus is growing, and there's one there that's probably close to 30 inches tall, and there's a big thick stalk down there, and all this is edible. Last year it didn't do very well because it was not that it didn't do well. It was the first year, so you don't pick anything, and I wasn't here to see it through to the end. By the time I got back up here, it was all dead and covered in weeds, but I was able to save them. These are strawberries. I didn't think they would actually grow here, but these are the ones I brought in the house to overwinter, and apparently they had enough dormancy to start growing again. So I'm looking forward to planting those out into the garden this year. I'm not sure exactly how many total plants I have, probably less than 100 compared to the 500 that I started with, but still looking forward to seeing how they do. Then up here, these are just a couple containers here of various things. Mainly the things you can tell are the tomatoes here, and these have been growing for a number of weeks, number of months actually, and they're not really getting any bigger. but I don't really want to throw them out. If I can keep them going until the spring, maybe I'll be able to have some early tomatoes. In the back here, these are just my cactuses, and these here are actually just pumpkin seeds that I was trying to check the germination rate, and might as well keep them going. They're not costing anything. Back here, just some various things from earlier in the fall. And back here, if you can see it, this is a potato. I wanted to see how that actually did, and I might even plant it in the garden. But now the funny thing that I wanted to show you are these, my strawberry plants. Now as you can see, they're flowering, and they're flowering quite well. Now I do have a question. Since these are not outside and there's no bees or flies or anything in here to pollinate these, will these flowers or will these strawberries produce strawberries? I don't know. But I wanted to plant them in here, and they actually grew quite well compared to what they looked like before. This one back here is a little weird. I don't know. It's a strawberry, obviously, but just by the way it's growing is very odd compared to all the other ones. But these, if they make it through the rest of the winter, and the same thing with the ones at the bottom, which I'm sure they will, I'll plant those out in the garden and hopefully have some strawberries this year. The last thing I wanted to show you is the grow room here. Excuse me. Remember from before, it didn't have any plumbing in here, which there still is no plumbing. But what I did, you can see very faintly over there, is I actually got into doing some soldering and some pipe work, and I actually took a tap, I teed off of the line that goes to the washing machine, and I put a new tap on there, ran a hose down out of the way here, so every time I need water, I just take my big container here, take it out, fill it up a couple minutes, bring it in. And then in here, right now, it's sitting at around 55 degrees. Once I start production, if you will, in here, these benches will be covered, just like last year, if anybody can remember my videos from last year. I'm going to have a lot of trays in here, and they're going to be full, and I'm probably going to crank this thing up to maybe 65 degrees, just to give the seedlings a little bit of a jump start, and then to get them growing a little bit better. So anyway, that's the not so quick update. Again, there's not too much going on, but I do have some plans for some videos in the future, and as always, feel free to just comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions about my plans or what I'm thinking about, or anything relating to the garden or the farm, which I will take you out there in a few weeks once there's a little bit nicer weather. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.